The House Republican majority is a dysfunctional embarrassment.
No, you got Mike Johnson. Jimmy Jordan wasn't good enough, and Tom Emmer wasn't good enough, and Steve Scalise. So what person that can pass a competency test would want to be the Speaker of the House?
Republicans and even Fox News are now sounding off on Marjorie Taylor Greene, furious at her chaotic antics of moving to vacate Mike Johnson only months after MAGA successfully outed Kevin McCarthy. And it's just hilarious to see how open and vocal they're being about all this. I'm assuming Marjorie Taylor Greene expected to get a warm reaction, kind of in light with how Republicans responded to Matt Gaetz, but instead, they're all just tired of the chaos and nonsense of MAGA. And I just wanted to show a few of these clips to further highlight the dysfunction and the craziousness going on at a time when they should be focusing on politics more than ever. Let's start with Trey Gowdy on Fox News discussing the possibility of getting a new House Speaker.
What person that can pass a competency test would want to be the Speaker of the House? What person who could actually pass a psychiatric competency test would want to lead a group that includes Matt Gaetz and Bob Good and some of the other people that you just showed? I mean, Mike Johnson's as good as a gun. You had a speaker. Mm-hmm. Remember, you had Kevin McCarthy, and you wanted to get rid of him, and Jimmy Jordan wasn't good enough, and Tom Emmer wasn't good enough, and Steve Scalise. So, no, you got Mike Johnson.
To put it soundly enough, they got the speaker they could get, not the one that anyone wanted. And he's absolutely right. The field was dramatically thinned last time from the hesitation of wanting the pressure of living up to MAGA's expectations in the job, which was part of the reason it took them so long to find one, where even the few who stepped forward weren't good enough. So you just ended up with the nobody bootlicker who would mostly follow commands. They probably thought a little more so because the one time he didn't, they're ready to give him the boot as well. Now I don't think there will be anyone willing who would want to pretty much just be the Trump and Marjorie lackey so they can call the shots while you're the fall guy.
The House Republican majority is a dysfunctional embarrassment. I mean, Speaker Johnson didn't ask for this job. He stepped up when the House couldn't elect a replacement for Kevin McCarthy. He's trying to manage an unmanageable conference. Republicans need to understand that they control one half of one branch of government, and now they're going to control it by one vote. You can't impose your will on the entire government when you have one half of one branch of government with one vote. If you want, I want to cut spending too. I want to do all these things. If you want to do that, there's a simple way to do it: win elections. Don't nominate lunatics. Get people who can actually win a general election, not just a Republican primary. Take back the Senate. Take back the White House. That's how Biden got the spending through. So that's how, if we want to cut the spending, that's how you get to do it. You can't do it by having this internal chaos.
And he's exactly right here. The tribal nature of the right has extended even into candidate selection, where you have these MAGA lunatics in the primaries cleaning up, but in no way appeal to moderates or independents or even the more sensible Republicans closer to the middle, of whom you need to win elections in the general. And it leaves you without political power. It leaves you grasping at straws to get any of your agenda passed, so much so that, as he just said in this clip, they get a slight majority by a few votes in one branch of the government, and they start slinging demands around like they run the place. This might help within their own constituency where they might buy the nonsense maybe, but outside looking in, no one is voting for more obstruction. No one without a tribal nature or complete bias is going to say, we want this Congress for 4 more years, one that has been as unproductive as a Congress during the Great Depression. No, they're going to look and they're going to rationally think, who is it that wasn't passing bills? Who spent more time in hearings or on social media than they did legislating? And they will quickly realize it's MAGA. It always was MAGA. Democrats have shown time and time again a willingness to come to the table. Even when Dems had the majority, bipartisan legislation was still passed, both on the infrastructure and gun safety. Democrats also sat down when they didn't have the majority and were willing to sign a conservative border bill, none of which Republicans were willing to play ball with, mostly on Trump's direction, but many of whom still tout the successes of the infrastructure bill. It just shows their game plan. Optically blame Democrats for everything, be the person who is vehemently against them because most of their voters just want someone who's going to own the libs, not someone who's going to legislate. But when the Democratic policies went out and the benefits of their bills come through, also take credit for what your constituencies are reaping, because you don't want them to jump over to Democrats, right? So just act like you voted for it, even if you didn't. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button. Why haven't you already? Leave us a like or even comment on this video. We even have memberships available for as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.